Why they shoot a chow over stolen Pampers? She didn't even steal the Pampers. She had a receipt. So here's the situation. There's a woman who has a 1-year-old child and a friend of hers. They are in Walmart. They apparently, from what the Walmart loss prevention sees, steal one of those big boxes of Pampers. I don't know. Diapers apparently go for 5,000 million bazillion dollars these days. But irregardless, they leave the store with the Pampers. And the Walmart loss prevention contacted the police, who I guess were either on scene. They contacted them earlier, noticing suspicious behavior between these two. And this is the way shoplifting pairs work all the time. One of them usually can get away because one of them has to take the pinch. So the cops walk up to these two women. One is the friend, one is the mother holding the kid. They say, we've had a report that you've taken stuff from the store without paying for it. Now, the mother with the kid, who's with this friend, decides at that moment, and this is fact, this isn't speculation right here. This is the facts you hear, not the shit you see on social media. Why they shoot a chow over stolen Pampers? She didn't even steal the Pampers. She had a receipt. This is what you hear all the time. So they walk out. The police approach them, say that we've had a report you've taken something from the store without paying for it. What does the mother with the 1-year-old do? What would you do? So let's watch the interview with the mother. And I'm going to say this woman's a lump of shit. She didn't care anything about a kid. They're disposable items to get EBT money and other types of welfare and put up a GoFundMe after they're dead so you could just get more money. And there is no whatsoever, nothing as far as an emotional, maternal connection to a child. And that is below animalistic. Animals care about their kids. Go up to a dog that just had a litter of puppies and try to hurt one of those puppies. See what happens to your fucking hand. Animals know that they need to defend their kids. This fucking piece of garbage doesn't give a shit. She got her bonnet on her head, her vacuum cleaner bag on her head, and she's just making excuses, blaming other people. When the absolute fact of the matter is you took a 1-year-old to your little crime spree with your friend, and when that happens, all bets are off. All consequences are on you. You killed that kid. And like I said, apparently she don't give a shit. Let's watch this piece of garbage.
Valicia Wally says that she was at Walmart with a friend and baby Cohen. And when they walked out of the store, she says her friend was approached by police. From there, she describes how the situation escalated.
But they tried to say that she forcefully was trying to drive and hit them, but they was all on the right side, and she was driving towards the left.
A mother losing a child is quite arguably the worst possible grief any person could feel. And we got the police, they was on the right. She was turning left, trying to make some scenario where she and her friend aren't responsible, that her kid's dead. It's beyond animalistic. Continue.
Is speaking out for the first time just days after her 1-year-old son Cohen was killed by a police officer in Senatobia Sunday.
Unreal.
The mother says she was walking out of Walmart with a friend and baby Cohen when Wiley's friend was reportedly approached by police.
They tried to stop her, but I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me. She came, and then when we was backing up, they was running out the cum. I raised my baby up because they withdrawed their gun. She had no tent.
Wally alleges
again.
3 to 4.
Pause again. This is beyond all reason. She says the friend came back to the car and the cops were yelling and running and trying to stop. How did she get back to the car? The cops obviously do not want her back in that vehicle. They certainly don't want her driving off. And then the greatest part of this whole clip, the mother holding the child. The child's 1, no baby seat, no nothing. If you weren't involved in something and you want to go back to the car, wouldn't you spend the time to put the baby in the child's seat so the baby's safe from any car accidents or anything? No. You know why? Because they were trying to make a break for it as quickly as possible because they stole shit and they brought a 1-year-old to a fucking shoplifting crime spree. That's why. That's why. And then the most insane fucking thing I've ever heard. The cops pull their guns out because this woman isn't supposed to be leaving. And the mother, her first instinct as a mother is to hold her kid up. Are you fucking me? Hold her 1-year-old child up. Any mother, first of all, any mother that cares about the kids would never even be in this situation. But if there is any situation that a loving mother is in, as she's holding her 1-year-old child, that sees there is danger, maybe guns are drawn. Every mother I've ever heard from, every mother I've ever seen, the maternal instinct dictates she would be in the front footwell of that vehicle with her baby under her, protecting that kid with her own body. Because that's what animals do to protect their kids. And humans most certainly do that. This woman sees guns drawn and pointed at the vehicle and holds her baby up. It's a tragic comedy. How the fuck does anyone think that's the response? Instead of protecting your kid and yelling at your friend who's driving, stop the car, for God's sake. I have my baby here. They're pulling guns out on you. But no, it continues. Let's watch.
Shots were fired, with at least one of the bullets hitting baby Cohen and at least 2 hitting the driver. Cohen's mother says they then drove to the hospital where her 1-year-old boy unfortunately died from his injuries. Senatobia police allege that officers attempted to stop the car multiple times, but the driver refused and reportedly drove into an officer's direction, which resulted in the shots being fired.
But they tried to say that she forcefully was trying to drive and hit them, but they was all on the right side, and she was driving towards the left. They just personally just shot in the car. They ain't charged me with nothing. They just let me go. They didn't say nothing. They just kept telling the crowd that they were shoplifting. But I don't know if they found anything because it's nothing to find.
The officer involved in the deadly shooting has been placed on leave, and the body cam footage has not been released because the case remains under investigation. As the Senatobia community awaits answers, there are calls for unity, transparency, and accountability.
But my position is, if she had walked out of there with every pamper in the store, that did not elevate the situation to shooting the
Pause
gun.
again.
Reflect back.
Here's what they're doing. Here's what they are saying. If she walked out of everything with the store, that doesn't justify no shooting. If she was still, she needed the diapers. Why are you shooting someone for stealing diapers? That isn't why they fired. They always do this. The man was shot because his directional signal didn't work. No, that's why he was pulled over. When he drove away and hit one of the cops, that's when the shooting started. Oh, when he jumped out of the vehicle and ran, that's when he was tasered and brought to the ground, and he's got a cut on his face. It has nothing to do with the initial violation is why they were pulled over. You don't, oh, you were shoplifting? Boom, let me shoot that baby in the head. That's what they believe happened. That's what they're protesting about. This woman, her friend, no responsibility whatsoever. And that's what we're supposed to, rally behind. Another innocent child killed by the police. And this just makes them more emboldened and belligerent when they get pulled over. You gonna shoot me like you shot that child? Shut up. All right, let's hear a little more here.
Back to things that I have witnessed most of my life. The only difference, we just living in a different time, but the power structure have the same mentality they had when I was a child.
Tonight at 6, you'll hear more from those two men who actually helped lead a Mississippi boycott in the 1980s. They explain the similarities that they see from back then to now as they call on the community to unite. Report live from Senatobia, Mississippi for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG News Channel 3.
Obviously, they're not trying to kill a baby. And then when the baby's hit, the friend drives to the hospital. She's still, in her head, she's still thinking, I could get away. If we get to the hospital, bring the kid there, if I could shake these cops, then I could still go home and smoke my weed and fuck. Who am I? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my take on this is all ass backwards. And she's a loving, caring mother that showed during that interview how busted up she was. Where's the GoFundMe already? I'm sure she's making all kinds of bank. And then there'll be the civil lawsuit where she'll get millions for a little fucking kid that she wound up getting killed. That's what happens. This is the ghetto lotto that the thugs win. Chindan.